Good afternoon, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing to you the third wave of DLC for Fire Emblem Engage. This wave contains Chrom and Robin from Fire Emblem Awakening and Veronica from Fire Emblem Heroes. Once you complete their new paralogs, then you'll unlock them as emblem rings to assign to your party, as has been the case so far. Thank goodness we're getting some variety in the fourth wave with the Fel Xenologue. Veronica's map is based on Fire Emblem Heroes, which I don't really have a whole lot of nostalgic attachment to that game. I played it a little bit when my ex-girlfriend let me borrow her tablet, but it didn't really hold my interest that much. The battlefield takes place in the sky, which is beautiful, and I especially love it when you get to explore that map in 3D after you beat it. Veronica can use her ability to summon heroes as an excuse to get reinforcements, and you'll have to step on two switches to get the islands together to get to her. It's a pretty small map, all things considered, but it's fun. It doesn't have a whole lot of enemies, but it's still decent enough. Once you assign Veronica as an emblem in your party, her main once per summon ability is to randomly summon a hero. Now, you do get a few parameters, like you can choose whether the unit wields a sword, an axe, or a lance, or neither, which I presume means summoning a magic user or a healer. And most of the time these are just standard enemy fabrications, but every now and then you can get an actual emblem. I managed to get a 5-star Marth, and I think it's this game's way of having the gacha system from Fire Emblem Heroes, but without spending any actual money, although the irony is that you're spending extra money to get Veronica to use the gacha, so I don't know how effective it actually is. I also think it's cool how you get a remix of the unit joining your party theme from Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance, which might have been in Fire Emblem Heroes, but I think it's really cool because it's, the recruitment theme. So I do think it's neat that you can just randomly summon a unit, although I do think it's unfortunate that the unit only lasts for a couple of turns before it just disappears, so enjoy him or her while you can. She can also cause a unit to be able to act again, but not move again, so it's a little bit less broken than the dancer ability. When she has low health, she can convert the lack of health into attack power, and her special weapon is a staff that I cannot pronounce that name, that prevents the unit from being able to counterattack. Now onto Chrom and Robin. Their map is called the Altar of Destiny, which you might recognize as the prologue map in Fire Emblem Awakening, aka the tutorial map that you eventually get to replay later on in a much tougher setting. And their goal is that they have a barrier protecting the main units, and you'll have to shatter all 3 crystals at the same time in order to defeat the barrier. If you only destroy 1 or 2 crystals, they will reform. So that's a nice bit of strategy. I also like how eventually Chrom and Robin will flood the area to reduce the movement of your allies, and they have this tile where they all stand on that really increases their dodge. At least that's what I think. I actually forgot to check the statistics of the tile. It's a nice blend of challenging but fair gameplay, and I also really like how it uses the Trial of Awakening music that was used in Lucina's paralogue battle. Once you get Chrom and Robin in your party, it's Chrom that fights alongside you, but Robin sort of adds attack boons. So as an automatic benefit of having Chrom and Robin equipped, because they're in one ring together, if you're on a space that increases your dodge, such as pillars or a bush, then the unit is incapable of counterattacking if you initiate an attack. Once you have engaged with Chrom and Robin, then if you initiate the attack, Robin will automatically do a chain attack as a nice callback to the pair up and dual attack mechanic in Fire Emblem Awakening. And if your unit is a sword user, then you can use the Giga 11 sword, which is just a hilarious callback to both Aether and I think also Hero's Final Smash in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's not as flashy as I would have liked, but it sort of emphasizes the idea that Chrom has his Aether ability that's really powerful, but Robin like powers it up with electricity. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often in the main game. Overall, I think it was great that they got Matt Mercer and David Vincent to reprise their roles as Chrom and Robin. I mean, any excuse to hear Matt Mercer again is amazing. And I also really like how, even though it's primarily a Chrom emblem ring, it has elements of Robin in there to emphasize the teamwork. I also think it's a nice reverse callback to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as in that game, Robin would summon Chrom for his final smash, but now Chrom can summon Robin, and I think that's very hilarious. There's not much to this wave, but again, it comes with the other content that I've already reviewed, so it's turned out to be a pretty meaty expansion pass yet. So the question is, should you buy it, or should you wait for the Fel Xenologue? I think it depends on how much you really like just adding more emblems and more classic Fire Emblem maps. If you're a sucker for all of this fan service, then I would probably say it's worth it. But if you don't want just more rings to make the game more broken, as the competitive audience would say, then I'd probably say you might want to wait. I'm happy that I got it, but I also had birthday money to buy it for me, so I got it a little bit less expensive than the rest of you. So ask yourself if you really like Fire Emblem. If you do, then I think you'll love this. If not, then maybe wait to see what the Fel Xenologue DLC has to offer. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the video, and if you have any questions or if I was unclear about something. I'd like to thank my patrons Matthew Rakowski, Sploon Ghost Splatcat, and Scooter Doodle for supporting me financially during this time. The link to my Patreon will be in the description if you would like to join. And until the next time, remember to keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye!